This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You need a therapist, and I'm not one. Improve your mental health in the most convenient and affordable way with online therapy at Talkspace.com. Hello and welcome to Life Coaching Comedians. I'm your transformational life coach, Alexis Shardé. And today I have a new comedian joining me, Mr. Dario. Don, why is it
Hi.
that you're so tired and stressed?
Oh man, I've got a roof that's falling on our heads. I've got a
Mm-hmm.
new job that's stressing me out, and a bunch of kids that I can't beat the shit out of. You know what I mean? And not because of the law, because of love. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
I love them. So
Okay.
just tired. You know what I mean? Being a
Yeah.
good dad is
Mm-hmm.
takes a lot. You know,
Mm-hmm.
being a crappy dad, you get time to go to the gym, work out.
Mm-hmm.
Being a good dad, you get man boobs. So, just
Oh, I
tired.
see. Okay, yeah, so
Yeah.
definitely stressed because stress is a leading factor to man boobs. Did you know that?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I am overstressed. I am
Mhm, mhm,
de-stressed.
mhm, mhm,
Uh,
mhm.
so, mhm.
So it sounds like, you're not putting yourself first at all.
No. Who does that? People do that? You can do that? Let me write that
Well,
down.
have you ever
Testimonial.
heard have you ever heard of that saying, you're looking at a cup, a glass, and it's filled with water halfway.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere else. Okay.
Now, is that cup half full or half empty?
I can't stop thinking about two girls for some reason. Um, half. It's just half. What is that an
Okay,
answer? I
that's
think
fine. No, that's not.
it's just half.
I was just testing you.
It's half.
But the point is, Don, if you have a cup that is halfway full and you're sharing that cup with your kids, do you have a significant other, a wife, a girlfriend, or?
I do. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you have that person too, right? You're sharing that cup. You give it
Yep.
to the kids to take a sip. You give it to the girlfriend to take a sip, and then you get the cup, and then there's hardly any left for you, if anything at all, right?
Oh yeah. Oh man. Yep.
Okay.
That gets
So,
my left arm just started hurting. Yep.
yeah. It's kind of
Yeah.
like when you're in an airplane, right? And they're telling you in a case of an emergency and the oxygen mask come down from above the cabin overhead,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that you should put on your mask before you put on the kid's mask or an elderly person's mask, right? Because if you can't breathe properly, then you're not going to be able to help them get their mask on, right?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's for sure.
So you need to make sure that your cup is always full, in fact, overflowing. So if you're always filling up your cup, your kids, your significant other, they're all going to reap from the overflow. All they got to do is stand by you and open wide.
Yeah. I think that's how I got my kids. My cup was just way overfilled. you know.
Yeah, so why don't well, you need to get back to that?
Yeah. I need to just get it all out. I've
Mhm.
been saying that.
Well, what is it, Don, that is
Mhm.
making you put yourself at the bottom of your priority list?
Um, that is a very good question.
Do
I
you
don't
love
know.
yourself, Don?
I do, very
Are
much
you
so.
sure? Are you sure?
uh, yeah.
Okay, tell me 5 things that you love about yourself.
Oh man, that's way too much. Okay, I'll give you one. Um, I am
You're
very,
hesitating. You're hesitating.
I'm very
See?
loyal. I'm loyal.
Okay.
Huh?
You're so
Huh?
loyal, but you're not loyal to yourself.
Oh, yes. You're right. I
Mhm.
did learn something. Where are my glasses? I was gonna put glasses on because I knew you were gonna make me cry.
No, it's
Um,
totally fine. It's a safe
I went
space for
to
tears.
I went to a counselor once
Mhm.
when everything was building up, and
Mhm.
uh, and you feel like you can't breathe.
Mhm.
Uh, and then sorry, I wanted to make a joke. Let me be serious.
Oh,
I
you
felt
can
like I
make a
couldn't breathe.
joke.
I felt like I couldn't breathe, and I said, "Hey, people go talk to people." So I went and talked to somebody,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I instantly, as soon as she said, "What's wrong?" I just started blaming my mom. You know what I mean? And then
Mm.
crying. I was
Mhm. Mhm.
crying, and so
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be on a
Mhm.
live coaching show. I better put on some sunglasses because I'm gonna start crying."
So how long ago was it that you saw this counselor?
Oh, let me see. She's how old now? So like not 8 years ago.
Okay, and you only saw her that one time.
Yeah, yeah,
Why didn't you
definitely.
go back?
She wanted me to get my chemicals checked. I was like, I'm just gonna smoke weed. You know what I
What
mean?
do you mean chemicals? Like your brain chemicals?
Yeah,
Serotonin
yeah,
levels and
yeah. Probably wanted to put me on some kind of
she was a
antidepressant.
psychiatrist.
Yeah, so
Oh, that's not no. That's not the no. No.
no thanks. Yeah,
No.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
Well, how come you didn't, maybe try to see someone else after that experience?
Oh, because I was good. So she did kind
Oh,
of
you
break,
were
and
good,
this is
huh?
why this is yeah, one and done, baby.
Mhm.
Um, so this is what I did learn about it. I learned something about myself, and you kind of brought this up. Uh, uh, I don't trust people, and
Mm.
and what
Mhm.
came out of this one session was that I don't trust people because I don't trust me. Does that make sense?
Mm. Yes, it does.
Uh,
I was just about to you took the words right out of my mouth,
I
Don.
was done. I was like, hit it right on the thing. I need a script. No thanks. I'll take
Mhm.
weed and
Mhm.
I'm good. I'm out. I just
Okay,
shred it up.
let's
I
back
just
up though
shred it
for a
up.
second. Okay, you may have learned something about yourself,
Yeah.
right? We
Yeah.
should be learning something about ourselves every
Every
day.
day. Yep.
But
It's
what did you do after you learned that fact? Did you do anything to try to make yourself better, to try to work on that trust issue that you have within yourself?
yeah. So I decided to. Hey, you are bringing something out here. Everything that I've done so far as in doing stand up, is uh, to better myself.
Mhm,
I,
mhm,
I first started looking at, it's not always somebody else who's not seeing me the way that I want them to see. It's, I need to look at myself and what's going on here. So I
mhm.
started to focus on communication. With
Mm,
stand up, I needed to do that. So that's helped me a lot. I started a podcast for
mm,
growth.
mhm, mhm,
Because we're constantly changing. Um, and now that podcast, I do it. It's ultimately for my kids. They can't watch it right
mm,
now because it's for
mhm,
18 and over.
mhm,
But it's for me to be able to talk to them about things that I can't talk to them about right now.
mhm,
So kind of talking to them in the future, when
mhm.
I get to say all the some stuff that you should be telling kids.
Yeah,
Um,
that's very
but in
sweet.
doing Yeah, and in doing that, it's because my father passed away when I was in my 20s. So by the
I'm
time I
sorry,
started
can
even
you repeat that? You said your father passed away when?
when I was in my 20s, like
When you're in your 20s.
20,
Okay.
25, something like that.
Mhm, mhm,
Um, so you don't at that time you don't think about your life. You don't think about kids. You're not thinking about anything but yourself at that time.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
um, by the time I got into my late 30s and started looking at kids like the weird like, oh, I was like, what the hell? The biological
When you
clock.
say looking at kids, what exactly do you mean there, Don?
So, as a guy, when I was growing up, like you would see an infant in a mother's arm, and no big deal, just walk by, like
Mm-hmm.
it's a kid, like who cares? Don't cry, just keep walking. In my late 30s, for some reason, I'd stop and I'd look at the kid, and I'd just be like, oh,
Mm.
and like the kid go away and my face would stay stuck like that. I'm like, what the hell's happening? The biological clock's ticking. So
Mm.
I decided to have kids at that time. Dad's long gone, so don't have anybody to ask any questions to.
Mm-hmm.
So the podcast is basically for me to be able to talk about certain situations that that I can get different perspectives on, to better myself, and hopefully for other people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In thinking about the whole thing, and just doing it for my kids, I thought, let's step back a little bit, and see
Mm-hmm.
a bigger perspective, and maybe there's foster kids, or just people who never had any kind of adults or any kind of parents, real parents in their life, to try to help them in some kind of positive way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's why I started doing it. And I just throw in comedy because it's fun.
Mm, okay.
So
So let me ask you something, Don.
yeah.
Do you think that you are better with man boobs?
Yes. Well, I mean, ladies don't complain.
Mm? Well, you only
Yeah.
have
I
one
mean,
lady.
not behind, I mean, probably behind my back, but yeah, they don't complain. I mean, she doesn't
Okay.
complain.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you being so open about your life and your life story and your podcast, and I love that future tribute to your children. But was there anything in particular, Don, that you wanted to discuss today? I mean, you did schedule this session with me.
That's true. I did. I selected it, and thank you very much for only charging me half price. I appreciate it. Um, what else did I want to talk about today? I wanted to ask you some questions. Do people do that?
I mean, sure. Questions
Okay.
about myself or just
Yes.
general questions?
Alexis Shardé. Is that
Mhm.
French? Is it where does that originate from? Is it Louisiana area, New Orleans? What is it?
Well, I'll tell you, I am over well, lady never tells her age, but I'm over 100 years old, and so,
Wow.
my mother is, she's well in her 300s now, and, my name comes from a whole 'nother planet.
Oh my God. I
If
was
I
gonna say
told you the whole
Florida.
story, it probably wouldn't quite make sense to you, but I'll tell you that reptilians do exist, and there are about 120 other dimensions.
Oh my God. You guys eat mice?
No, I don't eat mice, no.
Oh, okay.
I don't eat
Okay.
any
Because
meat.
there was a. Do you
I
remember
just
V?
V,
Yes.
as in Star Trek?
No, there was some show on NBC back in the day, and they ate mice. They're a reptilian. They peel their skin off,
I don't
right?
think I ever watched that show. I'm not fond of the reptilians.
You're not 300 years old.
My mother is in her 300s.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I remember.
Yeah.
Awesome. What else is going on? I scheduled this today. You know, well, let me ask you this: being on a podcast, how
Mhm.
is it that you? You just answer my own question. Calendly, Calendly. How do you
Mhm.
say that? How do you say Calendly? Am I saying that
Calend
right?
Calendly, yes.
Calendly,
Mhm,
Calendly,
mhm, mhm,
Calendly. It's amazing. You solved one of the main reasons I actually wanted to be on this podcast was just by sending me that link. I've had the hardest time trying to schedule
mhm,
podcast guests,
mhm.
and I think this makes it a lot easier because you're the one that's selecting it, not the people putting on the show.
Mhm.
Um, but that's great. That's been adding a lot of stress. You know, you set it all up and then nothing happens. So
So
that's
it
been very
sounds
stressful.
like maybe we should talk a little bit more about your stress and
Yeah.
what's causing the stress. So you said
Okay.
you're having issues with scheduling on your podcast. So
Hmm.
Calendly, yes, that will definitely help you fix that. What else do you feel is causing stress in your life? And maybe we can divert some of that stress, or maybe we can find some coping mechanisms, because those external factors of stress aren't really causing the stress. It's how
Yeah.
you're responding and choosing to respond
Right.
to those
Yeah.
external factors.
Right. I think a lot of it has to do with um, being stuck at home. You know, I love my family, but sometimes, trying to teach your kids stuff and they're not learning, you know.
Define being stuck.
Well, we were all shut down, couldn't go
Mhm. And
anywhere.
where do you
But
live right now, Don?
in America,
What state are you in?
the red one, just
A
kidding.
red state.
In
Okay.
Arizona.
Oh, you're
We're in
in Arizona.
Arizona,
Mhm.
Phoenix. Yep, Phoenix
Okay.
area.
Okay.
Yep, not on a different planet.
So your kids are not in school right now. They're homeschooling.
They were last year,
Okay.
so they were all home. You know, all the time. Everybody was home all the time. Did you know that domestic?
Oh, this is what I mean though, Don. I mean, like, what
Yeah,
is causing you stress right now in your life? We can't look at the stress that happened yesterday. We can't look at
mm,
the stress that happened 2 years ago. What is it right now in your life? What did you stress about today?
going poop.
Okay.
That's the
Anything
only
else?
thing that I stressed about today. No, I didn't have enough water in my system,
Mm,
and it's very hard to go today. So that was the only thing. I was stressed out. Stomach was hurting. It was hot,
okay.
wasn't it? I stressed out.
It
Oh,
was
the
quite
heat
hot
stresses
today.
me out.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you
And
think?
you
Do you
said
think I
you
should
mentioned
move?
no, I don't think you should move. I think you should stop diverting the conversation. Let's get
Oh,
down to the stress. Let's get down to the stress. You mentioned earlier a new job.
yes.
Okay. How long have you been in this new job?
Just started the job at the beginning of this year, so
Hmm.
in April or May,
Okay.
somewhere around there.
Totally the
Yeah.
beginning of the year. Yeah.
Yep.
And what is so stressful about this job?
It's just getting up, you know.
Getting up in the morning?
Yep, it's the
How early do you
worst.
have to get up?
We're going like 10.
10
It's
in the
too
morning. That's
early.
early for
Yeah,
you? What time are you going to bed?
like I don't know, whenever I pass out,
When is that
or
usually typically?
like 1 or 2.
What are you
I mean,
doing up
unless
so late?
I mean, if I'm doing open mics, that'll be a little bit later.
Open mics
Other
do
than
not
that,
go to 1 or 2 in the morning in Phoenix.
yeah. Have you been to JP's?
They do not go that late.
Yeah, they do. Everybody's there.
Well,
I think
maybe you
your
should get
mom's
there
part of it.
earlier and get on the first on the list.
I tried, but it's expensive to do that. Love you,
Mm.
JP. Um,
There's other
uh,
places to do open mics.
yeah. Oh, and we need to talk. Do you want to start one with me? We should do one.
I'm not sure. We could talk about that later offline, but we need to talk about you getting a handle on your schedule.
Yes, Calendly.
Not
Calen.
just that, just in general. I mean, you're whining about a job that you have to wake up at 10 a.m. for. I would kill for that.
I know.
Have you ever been
I
camping,
know.
Don?
I love camping.
Okay, so do you ever notice when you camp that typically you go to bed earlier?
Holy crap! Right.
Hmm.
You're not out. You're not like up partying or anything. You're like, dude, go to sleep before the bears come.
It's not
It's
just
true.
that, but when you're out in nature and you're away from all the lights and the technology and all the other things that distract us. You're in tune, you're grounded with nature, and you're back in rhythm with the circadian rhythm. We all have, like you mentioned earlier, a biological clock, and that's not just referring to babies, that's referring to our 24-hour clock within our bodies. And you know what runs that clock?
What's that?
The sun.
The circadian rhythm.
The circadian rhythm, yes.
That's
So,
not when those bugs like shake really fast and make the. Oh,
no,
I thought that's what
no,
circadian
no.
was. Oh,
So, why don't I challenge you? I mean, you could do a couple things. Maybe you should go on a camping trip for a few days
yeah.
and
Okay.
get back into that circadian rhythm, get used to being up with the sun and down when the sun goes down, and then
Yeah.
start a fresh new week in your regular routine and try to do the same thing. Try not to stay up so late. Now, granted, yes, you have open mics or performances and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
you don't need to hang out late. You don't need to drink alcohol too much. It's going to make your sleep
What?
worse, you know. Are you an alcoholic, Don?
Yes.
Hmm. What
I'm
causes you
not.
to reach for that bottle?
What doesn't? Reach for the bottle every day. What are you drinking? Don't try to
This is
tell me that's water.
H2O. It is water. I mean, you know why old people get wrinkly?
Why?
Because they're dehydrated. I mean, haven't you seen a dehydrated grape? It's a raisin.
Oh my God. Yeah, look at my lips. They're so dry right now. Right. All right. So drinking, stop, go camping. Let me write this down.
Now,
Camping.
now listen, I understand that it's not easy to just quit the sauce that easily, okay? So this is what I want to
Mm,
challenge you to do with your drinking, okay?
okay. All right.
Now, what do you typically drink?
Um, whiskey.
Whiskey. You drink it neat with
Did you
Coke?
see that? Yeah. Did you see me lick my lips? Oh my
No.
God.
Whiskey is an
IPA.
okay.
Oh yeah, man. Jameson and Dr. Pepper. Ooh. Mm,
I prefer to pickleback back in my day.
what's that with the actual pickle?
No, pickle juice.
And alcohol? Doesn't that give
Just
you a?
chase it.
Oh my
I don't
God.
want to talk about Jameson. Him and I, we broke up a long time ago.
What do you drink?
I don't drink anything. I drink my water and an
Oh,
occasional glass of wine, but you know.
mm,
All right, so here's my challenge for you, Don.
okay.
The next time you go to partake in an alcoholic beverage, first drink a full glass of water and then have one drink, whether it be a full IPA or your Dr. Pepper and Jameson, right? And in between each alcoholic beverage, make sure you have the at least the same amount of water that you did alcohol. So if you had a Jameson and Dr. Pepper, that's usually about 8 to 12 ounces. You're going to have 12 ounces of water after you drink that. Okay. Because
Okay.
alcohol dehydrates you. So if you're staying hydrated while you're drinking alcohol, you can still have the effects and have a good little buzz, but not go over the top to the point where you have terrible sleep, then have a hard time waking up in the morning.
What about smoking weed? So being high doesn't mean that you're hydrated. Let me write that
No, it
down.
doesn't. And when you're smoking weed, that also dehydrates you. You get the cotton mouth and all of that. So you have to drink lots of water when you're high.
So
And I
crossfading is not good.
I wouldn't recommend the crossfading.
Okay.
What is the
That's a list.
feeling? What
What
is the
list?
feeling that you're searching for deep inside yourself?
Um, numbness.
What are you trying to numb?
Feelings, man. It's too
What's
much.
wrong with feeling?
I tell you, I cry all the time.
There's
It's
nothing wrong
just,
with that. It's a release.
I mean, after, it's just not. It's a release. but it's
It
not
is a
good.
release. Why are you scared of the feelings? You know your feelings are trying to tell you something.
It just comes out at the it's not at the appropriate times. You know what I mean?
Who
Like
says? Who says that's it's an appropriate time?
all the kids on the playground. You know, I'm sitting there crying, and then they're all making fun of
Fuck
me.
those
So
kids.
that's what I tell my son, but he chooses to go with them. So you know,
That's fine. You don't doesn't matter. Just be by yourself on the playground and cry.
you're right. You're right.
I want you to try to do that this week. Go cry at the playground.
Hmm. Let me get another paper real quick. Hang on.
Yeah.
Okay, cry. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I think we're
What is
getting
it?
somewhere.
We
Let's just.
are. We are. What is it that do you just cry, you're not knowing why you're crying, or is there something in particular that is causing you to cry?
I don't know. You know, I think
Mhm.
it's just a genetic type of thing because my son does the exact same thing. And I don't know why. Just
Mm.
trying to teach him things. Like to go
Hmm.
pee standing up. And then my
Interesting.
lady gets mad at me because I yell at him for not knowing how to pee going standing up. And I
Mhm.
tell her, I just tell her, but he's 19. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Do you know what a mantra is, Don?
Is that like a car, a Hyundai?
No, my darling, it's not a car.
Hmm.
A mantra, do you know what an affirmation is?
Isn't that illegal?
No.
Hmm.
You are dumb.
Yeah, I need all the help I can get, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna start charging me. You're not gonna give me half price anymore.
Well, I'm going to teach you something, another thing today, Don. Okay. So, an affirmation, words of affirmation, you're confirming a truth. Think of it that way. A mantra is almost like a motto, something that you live by, something that you can say over and over again until you believe, like a manifestation, manifesting your own reality. So, a lot of times in our life, throughout our life, our childhood, where we hear things that maybe our parents say, teachers say, and they may not
Yeah.
necessarily be truth or fact. It's just a belief, an opinion. But when
Hmm.
we hear those things over and over and over again, our subconscious starts to embed it in our brain and we start to believe those things to be true, such as
Yeah.
money doesn't grow on trees.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
money may not grow on trees, but that is insinuating that there is not an abundance of money when in fact there is an abundance of money if you believe so, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So, I want to help you with some mantras for relieving your stress. Okay.
Okay.
Um, so you were mentioning earlier sometimes you feel like you can't breathe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
You do know that humans are the only species that actually have control over their breath, meaning voluntary and involuntary breathing. Did you know that?
Humans have control, are the only things that have control over their breath.
The only species on this planet that can actually control their breath.
Wait, what about you? You said you're an alien. You don't have
I'm not
control over
an
your breath.
alien, I'm just old.
You said you're from a different planet.
I
That's an
said
alien.
I said the background of my name is from a different planet.
Oh.
You still need to work on your
Mm.
communication skills, mostly
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah. That's true.
All right. So the next time you feel like you can't breathe, first try your best to control your breath. So the best breath to take to help release endorphins into your body is you take a deep breath in to the count of 4 and then release to the count of 8.
Oh my god, I don't think I can do that.
See that long exhale? How'd that feel?
Somebody call an ambulance, man. I'm gonna die.
You're not going to die. Okay. Now, as you're breathing, repeat this mantra. So first, take a deep breath in.
Okay.
With every breath, I feel myself relaxing. Don't hold it, Don.
Oh, God, you just say let it go.
Take a deep
Oh,
breath
man.
in,
That's not
count
relaxing
to
at all.
4 in your head. And then once you get to 4, you're going to exhale. And as you exhale, you're going to say, with every breath, I feel myself relaxing. Watch me first. Watch me first.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
With every breath, I feel myself relaxing. Your turn.
Is that something in your neck? Never mind.
Say it. With every breath, I feel
Every breath,
myself
I feel
relaxing.
myself relaxing.
Good. Okay, write that one down. And then once you actually feel relaxed, you can let your breath go back to normal and you can say, I relax knowing that everything is going to be okay.
Okay.
Say it. I relax
I
knowing that everything is going to be okay. Don, you can come back in a few weeks, but first I need you to work on staying hydrated. Go on that
not.
camping trip. You have a lot of assignments.
Yeah, I've got a whole list. This is ridiculous.
So it's fine. That's not that bad. The camping trip's going to be a great
Oh,
time.
I've got like a whole bunch of them. So it
So
is
you
going to be fun.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
is
Increase your water intake, breathe, and do those mantras. And
very
watch.
good.
If you stay
Very good.
committed, if you stay committed,
Yeah.
how do you feel, Don?
Relaxed. I gotta
Good.
go poop. I just gotta go poop.
Okay, well, we'll go ahead and let you go. So, Don, how can our viewers and listeners get in touch with you if they'd like to?
If you want to get in touch with me, you can follow me on Instagram at Don Dario Comedy. Same thing for Facebook. Also, I have a page on there called Don Dario Comedy. Make sure you like that page. They can also find me at dondarriocomedy.com. That's where all my links will be to everything else. My podcast, which is on YouTube, like everyone and their mom. It's called The Dumb Podcast. Dumb is spelled DUM because I'm smart.
Nice choice of
Yeah,
words.
yeah. But check it out, guys.
Oh, thank you, Don, so much for trusting me with your problems and being vulnerable and open. And if this is your first time joining us, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you can be
Yep.
enlightened with every episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. Don't
Thank you,
forget to
Lexus.
stay hydrated, get
Yes.
back in tune with your circadian rhythm, and do daily mantras.
I
Don's
will.
gotta go.
I will. I
All
do gotta go.
right. We'll see you guys next time.
It was amazing to be on the Life Coaching Comedians podcast. Man, Lexus, thank you so much. You are definitely a talented individual. Um, you had me going, man. Almost cried. I almost cried again. Before.
Boy, that Don is quite a talker. He just talked and talked and talked, and it was just like we wasted like 12 minutes of him just talking about a bunch of nonsense. But we did start to get somewhere, and I hope he takes my advice to heart, and then I'll see him in 4 to 6 weeks. And I don't know where he thought I would. I didn't give him half praise. He's definitely painful praise. Probably double now for wasting my time.